A380 days. The airline CEO says the planes won't return to service until Qantas is 100% sure of their safety. Rolls-Royce, which makes the A380's engine, says it has found something specific to that engine which could be related to its failure. And gold
will continue.
The focus of our investigation has narrowed to the possibility of an oil leakage in the relevant turbine area.
Now, in the meantime, hundreds of passengers have been left stranded. So, who's to blame? Well, as you're about to see, there's plenty of blame to go around. There are three main players in this. Qantas, of course, with its just about 100% safety record in terms of fatal accidents. Alan Joyce, in saying what he did, is specifically saying that maintenance was not an issue. He, of course, is also alluding to the fact that the decision to outsource offshore maintenance is not a contributing factor either. Airline pilots associations and maintenance staff in Australia have claimed that to be part of the situation. Joyce is saying it's material failure or a design issue may be to blame. Airbus, for its part, is a little bit caught in the middle. Airbus, the 380, is its most expensive launch and its biggest, of course, aircraft. With a 100% safety record doesn't mean much. There's only 36, 37 of them in service at the moment. Airbus will have to sell about 500 or 600 380s before it will make profit on the programme. So far, they've only sold just over 230. At the moment, it's only the planes of Rolls-Royce, of Qantas, not Singapore or Lufthansa or any of the other ones that are. And so, we end up at the desk of Rolls-Royce. Alan Joyce has pointed the finger firmly at the British aero engine manufacturer. We had one very short statement from Rolls-Royce the other day, another one today saying it's not related to other engines. So far, though, Rolls has not done any interviews, it's only put out a couple of statements, and it just says that progress is being made. Not surprisingly, Qantas' share price is down 2.1. Interestingly, Rolls-Royce is up 2.7%, and EADS is also just up a fraction. But at the moment, it is Qantas that is bearing the brunt of that on its shares in Australia. So, where does the buck stop? Joseph Lample is Professor of Strategy at Cass Business School in London. Professor Lample joins us now via broadband. What I've not been able to understand, looking at the Rolls-Royce statement, Professor, is they say this incident was the Trent 900. Do you understand this, that Rolls is now saying their engine is to blame?
No, I don't quite I see it that way. I think that they are basically delaying. They're trying to say that it's only confined to the 900. They're worried that people may draw patterns or see design or safety problems in other engines, and therefore perception of safety issues with the engine would spread beyond the 900. By confining it to 900, at least they're reducing the damage to that particular engine, potential damage.
Right.
They're not admitting necessarily it's a problem.
No, but for Rolls-Royce, their share price is up 2% today, 2.7%. So it was heavily down, of course, last week. So that's just a little bit of a bounce back. For Rolls-Royce, this could create a crisis of confidence for them, though.
It could create a crisis of confidence, given the fact that they're very stretched in terms of their orders, and the fact remains that the 900 and the 1000, which is supposed to come after that, represent a massive investment for them. So clearly there is a tremendous downside if this problem is not contained very quickly.
What about Qantas? You know, it's the old argument, isn't it? No smoke without fire. I mean, you can write off each incident as being unique, whether it's the hole in the 747, whether it's the porpoising, whatever it is. But is there a feeling that something Qantas has lost the plot?
Yes, I think there is that feeling, simply because no other engine manufacturer has reported, or sorry, no other airline has reported a similar problems, I think, approaching that. So the fact that the incidents have happened in Qantas makes people suspicious. They're beginning to wonder whether something's going on here. So naturally, Qantas is rushing forward to insist that it's not really their fault, that it's something to do with the design of the engine themselves. We'll have to see how the things plays out. There's still a few more days in which for the interaction for the two sides to come together. Hopefully they'll come together and try to sort it out privately rather than do it through the media.
The 380, we're looking at a picture now of the 380, and these very phenomenally complicated schematics and engines. When we talk about Rolls-Royce and the way they've handled this crisis, two statements, no interviews, it's as if the shutters have gone up. Are they doing themselves any favours? Alan Joyce has been out and about speaking on more than one occasion. Rolls-Royce hasn't said a word publicly.
I have to say that they're doing a very poor job managing the situation. What they're doing is exactly what you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to keep quiet to that extent. You're not supposed to just put up kind of very neutral statements about looking for causes. You're supposed to move forward and try to get on top of things. It's perfectly understandable that being an engineering company, they believe in facts, they believe in being very specific and concrete when they do communicate to the press. But having said that, it's still important that they come forward and try to engage with people who are asking questions. I mean, from their point of view, if you are an engine manufacturer, the one question you will never want to have to answer is, are your engines safe? But having said that, they still have to confront those issues and not try to hide behind those kind of sparse statements to the press.
Professor, many thanks indeed. Professor Lamble joining us from the Cass Business School. On this question of who has got what to answer, Qantas chief has some tough decisions to make. I read this morning a fascinating article, which I have posted, incidentally, on Facebook. It suggests that even for Qantas, its parts are worth more than the whole, and it goes into detail about the issues facing the Australian carrier. It's at facebook.com/CNNQuest. Become our friend, follow the programme, and read that interesting article, which incidentally comes from the SMH, the Sydney Morning Herald blogs, but you can see it on our site. OK.